Testing. Da 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 da. Okay, very cool. Omega. Okay, we continue, but I'm pretty sure this face is screwed up as heck. 10,000 warning signals blasting in my head. I'm trying to fix them before I move on. Hello, you got me? I'm no longer a hot single, I'm just lukewarm now. Lukewarm single. Hey yo. I'm just gonna let this playlist play. I'm gonna see if anything gets caught up on the copyright. It's mostly Vocaloids. Might be a bit loud. It's Vocaloid for the most part, I think. Yeah, I don't think anything should get caught until like bing bang bang boom. About like 30-40 minutes later. Hello, Devay. Very loud, very loud. Okay, okay. Okay, it should be better. Oh man, it's weird, man. Like my throat was way worse yesterday, but I feel better overall. Today I feel worse, but my throat is no longer hurting. Oh man, this face is so stretched, dude. So stretched. Yes, sir, Dubey. This face is a fail, man. This face is a fail. Nah, my mind probably came from I don't know if you are catching you know, like it's like there's the infection kind where you get a fever, and then there's the kind where you just kind of like messed up and, you know, let yourself feel a little bit too cold. I think it's the latter. I don't think it's like an infection thing. I'm not sure. Could be a flu bug going on though. It's okay, Duvet. Like, I think for the most part, I'm just gonna let it slide. I don't really feel like fixing it. I've been working on my other character recently. She's a lot more interesting to work on because I get to decide some stuff without any real issues. And Giota has more of my interests in there, just as in general. She's my favorite character that I properly designed, and then my wolf is my favorite character that is just kind of exists. With the wolf, it really feels like she chose me more than I chose her, because it just kind of happened over time. But with this other character, it's more preferences in there, shall we say. Also, very cool colors, man. Like, I'm looking at this and I feel like I just want to do something simple, man. I keep trying to push the limits of the rendering and all the setup and everything, which I think is the way forwards, but it's a lot of work. Maybe I'm just tired because of the illness, but oh yeah, sorry, I just kind of skipped over it. Yeah, simple colors, very efficient, man. Like you just need just enough information to tell the story. It feels like one of those slightly kind of feel like those horror games. Hello Kirio, hello George. What was that developer's name? Kublak? The one that made like that dealer with the shotgun thing, and as well as a lot of other horror games. It's got that sort of grainy and simple sort of coloring vibe. Yeah, I know, right? I should start simple. I still have the same issue with patience. It always feels like, you know, starting simple, it's you know, if you can start more difficult and push it through, isn't it better to just push through difficult stuff? Because you get to try more and more things. As long as you're not getting overwhelmed. Although I am curious though, like some of these parts of the canvas, I'm always wondering if there's any gradient in these, because it looks like it's the same color, but logically I feel like it should be different. Like some kind of gradient, but it looks like it's exactly the same, top and bottom. The water? The water also has none. Oh, okay. It's a lot simpler than I thought then. That means the gradient is just very minor in this background, that's it. Everything else is flat. How nice. You can focus on the shapes. Kind of like black and white drawings. Black and white. Focus on the comb and the colors. This would be a good study piece. I think it's not... It looks deceptively simple. But the framing, the perspective, and then as well as the variations in the building. It feels like it's flat, other than one big gradient here. One big atmospheric perspective gradient. Maybe not that simple. Now that you mention it, yeah. Now that you mention it, yeah, like this, these circles around it, instead of like a big smooth edge airbrush. I feel like I've seen this before in VR chat. Looks like dandelions or something. Get locked. Get locked. Get locked to you too. Ah man. I just want to try to render this a little bit. Not buying the character so much. I'm gonna just hide her for now. For the most part, I think the color is what it needs to be already, so I guess I'll just move on with... Oh shit. Bit your tongue. Where's my perspective ruler? What? Where'd it go? Huh? どこだ? Broski, did I not copy it over or what? Oh, it's over here. Wait. Oh my god. But there's really no point because I didn't skill it with this. Wait, it should be with this though. Oh. There you go. Alright, how do I want to do this though? Let me think. I'll just repaint over it. So the workflow has been plan out with sketch and then block in big colors, do some basic gradients, make sure the color is set, and most of it is what it needs to be. Then we paint on top of everything. Including all the lines here. The lines will actually just serve as part of the color tuning, I guess. Brushes wise, I think I don't have much. I need 2 special brushes. It's kind of straightforward. Oh yeah, like I changed the oh, hang on, let me think. But I am gonna follow this perspective regardless for this side, so it's okay. Oh, where's my other perspective point? I need it. Hello? Oh, I need object. Okay. This is YouTube's mix list, by the way, so it's just random shit that's gonna get thrown at me and us. It's just all the stuff I usually listen to. And YouTube has decided now's a good time to let me hear it again. So I have no control over what's happening here. Gen Z being a career hell, is it telling me that I'll be jobless or something? I mean, it is pretty bad because of all the AI shit. Especially like some of the more easily replaced ones like computer science, ironically. It is very hard to find. I keep seeing Reddit posts and other sort of posts about that as well. Just people memeing in general about how you need like 5 years of experience for like an entry-level job, or people looking for unpaid, you know, labor and be like, Yeah, you work here, you're not gonna get paid, but you know, if you work here for 5 years and you're good enough, we might be able to hire you for real. I was like, what the fuck? Yeah, I mean, I don't know much about that world that you're a part of. I'm not sure what most people will come out and do for that job, for that major. But when there's a will, there's a way. And I don't know, man. It feels a little bit irresponsible to just say it though. But I don't have any advice that I can offer either. Wow, what can you do? Like, what if I was you? Like, what would I do, man? What would I even do? Yeah, like, is there anything that I can... English? Yeah, English literature. It's like teachers, right? Like, I think... I remember someone in the past making fun of archaeology. It was just like, you know, if you do archaeology, all you can do after you come out is teach other people archaeology. Or something like that. Was it archaeology or some other... It might be something else. Might not be archaeology. I can't remember. Yeah, like writers are getting replaced by AI, screenwriters and whatnot. Actors are getting replaced by AI. Oh shit, let me get my water. Water! Water! Nom 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 nom. Water. Ah man. So hard to swallow. That's what she said. Oh no, 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 no. Who said that? I didn't say that. Who said that? And change the flow back. I got my tablet was not in the right spot there. How did it not fall? Heyo. Heyo. How do I get it to only show the spiky spikes on only one side? What is it set to right now? Stroke is on tip, angle, it's on direction of line. Okay. How about none? Then it's on the... If I do this, I only get it on the vertical, I think, and I don't get it on the horizontal yet. But horizontal makes it really hard to use. Okay then, forget what I just did. I'm just gonna change it back. Because then I can just change a pen then. I don't have to make it so hard on myself to have one pen do everything. Yeah, can one man change the industry? That is a legend in and of itself, man. You have to become a legend. I've become a little bit more tolerant to the whole marker thing. Otherwise, markers are always drive me insane. But at least now I can get some partial colors here in here. And then if I can handle the sort of messy shapes for now, I can come back later and put in the cleaner shapes. Igami, that's me every day, dude. I think like on stream it's kind of hard to tell, because for the most part I kind of figure out what is necessary to set up the environment and my brain and everything in order to make it so that I can perform on stream properly. But if I'm drawing off of stream, which I've been drawing off of stream, like here, I can't open it because it's a little bit not safe for work. It's really hard, man, like on the anime and stuff. Having enough patience to work through all the problems. Streams force me to focus. That's why I'm so grateful for you guys being here. I don't have a choice but to focus, you know. Whereas if I'm by myself and it's like, oh, friends want to play some games, let me join, please. Let me join. Yeah, it's pretty normal for me to just not be able to draw something. That's why it's like a lot of the stuff that I learned is mostly just self-management. Giving myself some patience, like the time that I need. I don't know what colors I'm supposed to be using here. Oh, I can't send it to not safe for work. It's not really not safe for work, it's just nudity because I'm doing design. Well, granted some of the poses are not perhaps not that necessary, but anyways, I'm keeping the character under wraps until I can sort out some of her other backstory and stuff. Man, it's so hard to get the shapes like correctly formed, exactly like it's supposed to be. You guys are drawing VC. It's like the meme, it's like, you guys are getting paid? You guys are getting paid? What song is this actually? Oh, this is the one that George recommended. The artist that George recommended. Takata White. I don't know if this link works for you guys, because it has the playlist and stuff in it, but the playlist is not like a... it has a unique ID though. I think you guys will probably see the exact playlist that I'm listening to right now. There's some copyright stuff intertwined inside. I'm wondering if it's gonna get caught. Maybe we have just enough non-copyrighted songs to skirt under the radar here. That'd be interesting. This is my favorite song of the artist that you recommended. The vibe is very similar to Inabakumori. Oh no, George, there's like other like proper famous like pop songs in there. Like Yoru ni Kakeru. At some point it might come out, that kind of stuff. That's gonna get caught. Yeah, no problem guys. Just ask if you guys want any links or stuff that we're listening to or looking at or references and whatnot. That being said, whatever that we're doing right now, I don't know where I got this. It's just like some random link on Pinterest. Yeah, it really is like Inabakumori, this vibe. Oh, I see, it's bugging out the display. Amazing. Scaretawa. And today maybe I should just draw like a bunch of... I think it'd be more fun if I can bring out this new character, just simply because the weight of drawing her is not as heavy as the other, as Ria is. And I can draw some more risque stuff with her being in character, so that's nice too. Of course, for pose practice, anatomy practice, of course. No other reason. No other reason at all. Kinda lazy to render this, man. Kinda dark, is it? It's kinda dark. It's not a difficult fix though. We can always fix it in post as well. Not really a problem. Oh yes, a song that you guys won't know. This song is about the famous map in VR chat, also known as Popiokocho. This is where Japanese people go and shitpost in VR chat, basically. Popioko. Minna daisuki na Popiokocho. Now that I think about it, there wouldn't be any building here, because if that's the case, the light probably wouldn't hit this wall in the first place. I don't know. Yeah, see you soon, Igami. Oh, because I locked. Oh. This is the only way forward. I can't shortcut this. Oh, actually, there is a way to shortcut this. If you find like one of those schools that just teaches you on how to, just something very specific. I don't know if it's hang on, if it's in the list that I sent, but let me send it real quick. So this is the song name followed by the channel, the guy who makes the music. The first, the part before the hyphen is the song name, and the part in front of the no. So the first three characters is the map name. If you search that up on YouTube, you will see like videos with regards to it, which is just Japanese people shitposting. You know, Japanese society pretty uptight, very rule heavy. You know, don't want to violate rules and social norms and whatnot. So when people let loose, they tend to also equally go like you know, equally as much in the other opposite direction. So it gets a little bit crazy sometimes. You just have to be careful and like to not expect too much out of people, because you know, they might get a little bit verbally aggressive. They wouldn't get physically aggressive. You can't really do that in VR anyways, but Yeah, it can get a little bit we're really aggressive sometimes. Depends on luck, you know. That's how VR chat is. It's a one big gotcha every day. なんか作れそうだけどね。逆にないわけないんじゃない？これがそうだけど。そうだ。あ、ね。ああ。疲れたわよ。Yeah, it's fun talking to random people. If you like talking to people, that is. If you don't like talking to people, then yeah, chat is just pretty overwhelming. せや、ここは消さないといけない。It's over. Yeah, this is not possible to be this bright if there's something here. Especially the bottom. I have to knock this entire part out. Not a problem though if you want to knock it out. Then you can go in. That's why I wanted to paint. You can just do whatever you want on that one canvas. Anytime you want. And on the same layer, it's just gone. If you want it to be gone. It just opens out like a spacer, which I don't know if I like. Push this in. Yeah, I don't think I'll go very far with this, probably. Server? I don't know, did he mention? I don't think Igami mentioned which server it was. And he's left for class, so might have to ask him in the server today if you want to know. I need another perspective grid for this. Oh. See if copyright triggers. Wait, what? Did my rate go down? It did shift down, what? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
知りたいよ最近どうもどうかしそう少しのどこ方向音痴だようどん騒動喉は通らないよ忘れた音とあの子のことメモリーカード埃を飛ばそう吹いたら消えそうな思い出を震いながら抱きしめよういつかはでも楽しくてサービス終わればそこまでってあいつも今じゃ誰かにサービス僕はめくりやなままここいるんです決戦平成の家には返しませんごめん責めるだけしかのありません安全策なんて君らしくないね思い出してよあと30分
Oh, here comes the copyright.はい、ごめん。
手を取って too much play 夢の中まで去っていってダイブ目を取って too much way 闇の中まで去っていってダイブ弱にそべに弱いだけなの弱にそべに怖いだけなの酔えないで覚めないあなただけで行こうぜたまからかすババシャリーライトメロビート止まらない声が戻らない日々去っていって強く見出してチェリーワインメロキス心の声が聞きたい形になった too much pain too much play 耳の中まで知ってちったボーイ逃げ出した僕の青さの音がする声がする助けてみようかい Shining light melody 止ま 形満たしてシェリーワインメロキス心の声が溶けたらワインメロビート止まらない声が戻らない日々去っていって強く満たしてシャリーワインメロキス心の声が聞きたい形になった Too much play You and me So many You and me Too much play You and me So many 二人に Too much play
Yes, 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 yes. I should probably remove this. Uh-oh, my pen's bugging out. Hang on. Okay, my pen is bugging out. I can't let go of this. It's just constantly clicking now. Oh my god. Yeah. Yeah, still doing it. Okay. Be right back. I'm gonna go pee my pen and see if it works. Otherwise, it's gonna be a problem. Okay. Dang it, I can't put the band back together. Yeah. Problems. I think it's better now. No copyright.
諦める悪いやからあんたらなんかじゃたまらんでもかなわんクワバラクワバラクワバラ何も止まらん速さくたばらんたまらん下がらん押し通すわがままそこだけには邪魔だ俺はもう一人のあなたサラちゃんガヤちゃんワンサカ読みの国ワンダラごき途中になんだが4時44分待ったら4尺4分4分さながカビラジャパンがな呼ぶ声がしたんならもう一人お疲れ様や入れた入れた入れた入れた入れた必死で吐いてた先で君は晴れた猫と僕がうまく噛み合ったら痛みが重なったら心から頭みなぎってゆくなんだか背中に今羽が生えたならば暗闇からおさらば飛び立ってゆく体心から頭懐かしい暖かさ足元に今花が咲いたならば暗闇からおさらば飛び立ってゆく体何度だって生きるお前や君の中またの裏や耳の中胸の奥についてるメロディーリズムに今日も才の河原ど真ん中積み上げてくトップトップ鬼とチャンバラードリリカのチェスまさか渡る大海原花ぶたすぎシャララ払いたいのならマスターまでのサンサバ誰が開いたかパンドラあとは何があっても知らんがな何百年待ったか超久しぶりのシャバだガキや若葉まだこちくんじゃねえよバカが今確かに目があったなこういうことかシャマラン入れた入れた入れた入れた入れた眠り飽きた先で君が待ってた盾と矛が肩を抱き合ったら怒りが消え去ったら心から頭みなぎってゆくなんだか背中に今羽が生えたならば暗闇からおさらば飛び立ってゆく体心から頭懐かしい暖かさ足元に今花が咲いたならば暗闇からおさらば飛び立ってゆく体何度だって生きるお前や君の中またの裏や耳の中胸の奥につい
しょうもないの私牛クラリンそばに照り寄せた夏の枯れ落ちたつぼみがこんなに抜け殻惜しくていじらしいああ嫌いになっちまうよった気がにたって言わなくちゃ頭の中ってノイズが何もないから空っぽが入らないこと全部バレてたらどうしようあああの子の言う通りうわなんだ幸せになっちまうよああ失うのが辛いが全部無駄になったんだ愛した罰を受けるからひどく優しいあなたの胸で泣きたならどうしよう最後見たそんな夢私つぶらりん
Ready for my show. Listen, listen. Hello, unknown individual. We are... not really. I don't know. It's not that easily measurable. But like this sort of brush that draws a bunch of lines kind of fits the sort of vibe, you know, because it's got the horizontalness of buildings going on, and at the same time it's also breaking up shapes and also kind of serving as like some kind of an airbrush. It pushes everything further into the back because the contrast is lower. It's also interesting. Just need to vary up the sizes and everything. It's alright, you didn't miss anything. The whiplash is insane, man. The music changes. How about you, unknown individual? Did you draw anything today? Are you here to join us today? I see. Half. Sounds like a good opponent. Okay, I'm finally getting the copyright warning. Because this is like mixing up a bunch of stuff together. It took them a while. is there no orange on this part? Don't get it. I don't see it in the reference either. Can I draw something else? Oh my god. Definitely more sleepy today than yesterday. Where are my buildings? Oh, it's here. Right. Oh man, I'm slowly zoning out. Right, yeah. King. Yeah. Hey. Like being like tired really messes up your mental, man. Like I would feel like, you know what, I can just copy this. Right now I feel like this is impossible. Oh. I don't know if this is copyrighted because it's Deco, but Canaria and Deco, they might be copyrighted. Might have to go somewhere else. I'm getting the warning again. The patience on YouTube side wears off each time it pops out. Sometimes it's like an hour before it kicks us off. Sometimes it's like 30 minutes. I'm gonna have to hop off here. A girlfriend? Hmm. I mean, I don't see any reason to trust him, given the interactions that we have seen so far. All signs point to this being a trap. Maybe you should have a bit more faith. I don't know. Seems like a trap, smells like a trap. Probably nothing. Just go for it. Needless to say. Take on me. Take on me. Oh man, I don't know what I want to do, man. Nothing looks or feels good when I do it right now. See, that's the problem. See, I never learned out the so-called rules as of rules. I learned them as more of like a feeling. So if I don't feel good about it for whatever reason, it might not even be related to the art, then it's gonna mess up the evaluation, and then it's just everything is gonna look and feel like shit as a result. On me. Lol. You know they are too.本当にいけんのかな、これで。じゃないね。Move it up. Hello, Lord. Yeah, I've been tired today, man. Feeling the effects of the cold a little bit more today. Tired. I don't know if it's just because I'm tired, but like it feels like I should just go back to doing more basic stuff, like other than trying to do my own illustration. I think part of it is just... Part of it is being tired, part of it is that I'm still not satisfied with the quality and I don't know what to do. So it feels like I should do some more training before coming back. The other part of it would be that if I want to do stuff like this, I need to be in top shape. I cannot be sick, I cannot be tired. I need to be able to hold the idea all the way through. So that I can actually keep myself working here. Otherwise this just feels bad. Come on. I don't have any shapes in mind. We don't have any references quite prepped. So everything is kind of janky. I don't know, the background looks kind of janky to me. I don't really like it. I know it's just a matter of rendering, but oof. I don't know. I guess the original is a lot more spicy with all the noise and stuff. Let me just quickly put on a noise filter thing. Render Berlin. A little bit more spicy in the back. From one of, like on one of the building? From one of the building. Who's Mimi? Draw myself? Through the window I'm working? Oh, I see what you're saying. Hello, my thing is stuck. What is the thing? I don't know, man. I feel like even if I like I can't quite have fun with art is the thing. Still, it still feels like work. Like stuff like that where you draw yourself and stuff like this should be fun, should be interesting, but for the most part I feel like if I won't be able to execute it well. If I can't execute it well, it's not fun. And then it demotivates me a lot. I guess we haven't drawn anything in a while, huh? I don't remember when's the last time I rendered here. Ah, shit, my head kind of hurts. Why is it hurting in this one spot though? Huh. Let me take my temperature as we do this. I have the good old thermometer with like the mercury inside. Gotta be careful not to squish it. I'm either gonna have to work remotely tomorrow, or I'm gonna have to call in sick again. Crap. I already used all my sick days this year, man. Yes, unknown individual, feel free. I wonder if anyone's gonna put stuff in for the Friday thingy. The critique, not critique, but just feedback, I guess. If you want me to take a look at something. I guess I should have made it clearer that it's not necessarily about critique. It could just be like a chatting thing, you know, like people could just like share stuff if they want to share it, not necessarily to get feedback in a constructive blah 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 way. Yeah, just I want to make it easy for people. I want to make it routine, and then I want to make it consistent. So all of these things should keep interest, should make it easier for people to do things, and maybe keep people more. Please help me, I am under the water. Oh my god, tired. Yeah, like so yesterday George was asking about whether if we can get some, oh no, unknown individual was asking about whether we can get some feedback, and then George was also asking for it. So I was like, you know, yeah, why not? You guys can put stuff into the art critique channel. If you look at the announcements, sorry, I don't like pinging people, so I don't ping people when I make announcements. I don't know if I should. Honestly, I guess it's my duty too. If people are finding it annoying, they will have to just mute it. But I guess I should ping people, because people are expected to be notified when there are new things, right? But anyways. So yeah, they wanted some feedback, and I thought, why not? So I decided that Friday might be a good time, because any other day, like I can't really stream during the mornings for weekdays, so weekdays are already packed. Weekends, the only time I can stream is also during the morning and afternoon, which changes the timing for like compared to the usual streams. So most people will have to make extra effort to remember it, you know. And if that's the case, doesn't seem very nice. So I might as well just hijack Friday, because Friday is a bit of a goofy stream sometimes anyways. Yeah, okay, I'll ping it. Let's ping it right now. People have questions they can come and ask too. And then I'm going to also make it so that it's clear that it's not really about a critique thing. Hang on, my keyboard's in Japanese. A bit. Okay, I'll be sure to ping next time. I always feel not the best about doing it. It's interesting because you know, like, you're never put in this kind of position until like you are, and then it doesn't have to be a critique thing. Just if you want to share on stream. Okay. Alright, man. All the best. You got me. Okay, unknown individual. What was that? Change of mind. You know it will be interesting and everyone excited about Friday for 15 minutes. Oh, right now you mean like the 15 minutes is in right now where we're talking about it. Anyways, Igami, if you wanna improve, you need a reference. You say you were doing this without reference, right? You need a reference, man. Right now, I'm the same like as if I don't have a good reference for the hair, I'm just always gonna do the same thing, where I just kind of walk around in circles. If you like what you have, that's fine. If you don't like what you have, you need to find what you like first, and then move towards it. That's the same problem that I'm facing now. I'm just biting off more than I can chew, I think, still. At least for the given state. Yeah, you either approach it like how I did before, which is find an artist and art that you like and then try to reference it. You copy the shapes and stuff. Or you have to go from the construction method, where you learn perspective, learn boxes, put stuff in boxes, put the box in perspective, and then you slowly construct your way up. That way is better because it's a little bit more powerful, I think. At least from my point of view, because I feel like the way I did it is very lacking. Because up till now, I'm still struggling. Struggle. What am I talking about? Anyways, yeah. Reviewing. Today, huh? Okay. But only because I don't really want to work on what I'm working on anymore. I don't want to make it a thing where people can just pop in and ask for reviews. I want to consolidate into one time because it breaks the flow of the workflow here. And then ideally you should come with a reference to an individual, because if it's just in a vacuum, it's hard to know what is it that you want to get out of it. You know what I mean? Like if you want to draw a side view and you end up drawing a front view, then that is a gap that you can address directly. But if you're just giving me the final result and be like, this is what I have, I can only look at it and try to guess at what is it that you were aiming for, which may not be the case. And is this the one, by the way? This is the one, right? I think. Is this a photograph? Did you take this on your phone? Oh yeah, I see the lines are not straight. Okay. There's a photo, right? So a photo will have some distortion, but it's not too prevalent here. I don't know, man. Like right now, it's like, so what is it that you're trying to do, right? Like, and you know, the last time we did this, I remember you did the same thing, and I said to use some guidelines and stuff. If you don't try to make changes based on the previous stuff, it's gonna be the same thing again and again. If you know what I mean. If you know what I'm saying here, right? Because it's the same problem here. If you don't have the guidelines here, Oh, if you don't have a reference for me, I don't know what you're trying to achieve here. I can only assume this is a front view. And then you need to put the eyes somewhere in this range here. Yeah, you have to tell me how you feel about this though, is the thing. Like you must have some thoughts, like about what is it that you want to you want to fix and stuff like that. Yeah, sorry, I'm a bit new to this. I don't really know how to deal with this because for me, most of the time, if I see something bad, I know what I want to fix about it, what I can try and do to fix it. Yeah, like here, if you just put in guidelines here, it will help you make the lines, like the size, a little bit more symmetrical. It's a bit easier to see if you have you know, if you have like a square here, you can check the distance here, and it's a bit easier to keep things a little bit more consistent. Yeah, okay, I'm trying to think of what is it that I can give as a feedback, because in the very beginning, you really just have to, like, I need to know the intention, I think. I'm not sure what to No, I feel like I'm missing information here. So either, I think, like, if you come in with a reference on the individual and your own drawing and copy of the reference, that's something I can work with. Or if you come in and you tell me what is it that you don't like about it, or a specific part that you want me to take a look at, because there's too many things to work on here. Like, you have to focus on one part at the moment. And I think if you're coming into this and you're just like, hey, something's weird, you know, I don't know what to do, what's weird, or I don't know what to fix about it. Yeah, the biggest problem here is I don't see the intention. Like, I don't see the vision that you had. What is it that you wanted to draw? I think if you wanted to draw a front view, you need to find like a front view reference first, I think. You started with the eyes first. Yeah, okay, can you tell me more? Just tell me more about like what's happening behind the scenes in your head, anything. I need to... Let me think. Okay, this sequencing from... Oh, wait, let me think. I need to relate it to my own experience here, because it's been a long time since I just drew without reference. And for the most part, without reference means complete failure 100% of the time. So if I wanted to create something that I want to have look good, it needs to be reference. So maybe idea first. Idea, ref, and then execution here, right? And then this is a evaluate. And then it goes back to collecting ref again. And then we keep looping this until this says that we are done. And then we are done here, right? So if this is a flow chart, I forgot what the symbols are supposed to be. But you have all of these different steps here. And then this is a feedback loop that keeps going and going and going and going. It's okay to start with no ref. Like, it's okay to start with no ref, but that just means that you're still at the ideation stage. So if you're either coming in with an idea with like you're inspired by someone, so inspired by other illustration, or you're doing like some self-exploration stuff where you have no strict idea, or maybe you have some concept or something, right? Okay, that's not a word. Oh shit. No, another individual. Like wait, let me see. You start off with the eyes and next the chin. No, it's not about the process, another individual. You're talking about this part here. This part here is where you talk about, hey, you draw a circle, you draw the eyes, you know, you draw the mouth. That's this part here where you're executing. I kind of need to know what is your plan here, because I need to know, because after this you're coming out and you're saying that it's done, but there's some problems here, right? I can give with the what you have given right here. The main problem is that you don't have any structure to what you're drawing. You're just putting down lines here. The lines don't necessarily come together to form something. You know what I mean? Like if you're drawing a cube, right? And you're just drawing random lines in order to kind of make it look like a cube, you might get something close, right? But it's like a little bit weird here and there. And that basically means that you don't understand this object in perspective, right? So if you have a perspective point, then you're supposed to follow perspective before you draw the shape. And then that expresses the idea a lot clearer here. Okay, you can kind of put the lines in the right spot. Something like that. Sorry, it's a bit messy here. But so when you draw the face, right, it's not about the fact that you're starting off the eyes like that and then you're drawing the chin, right? That's not the point. The point is you need to understand what the face is like, right? If you look up this thing called the Asaro head, this is a little bit messier. But it helps illustrate the point that like you have everything that you're trying to draw is like a 3D object, right? So you need to understand what the object looks like first. Because if you don't understand how the object looks like, how do you know like where each line is supposed to go? You know what I mean? Like if you're drawing the eyes here, where does the chin go, right? Why do you not put it here? Or why do you not put it here? And why did you choose to put it at this spot here? You know what I mean? And you could say that it looks good to you, and that's fine, right? But the thing is, the looks good to me part only works based off your own experience. So if you always do looks good to me, and you never take in any new input, which is the referencing stuff, which is this part here, then you'll always be stuck at where you are right now. There would not be any changes. Like things won't change unless you try to introduce a change here. Which is why I say that you need a reference. You need to have an idea of what is it that you want. You collect the reference, then you try to execute based off of the reference. Right now at this stage, there's just like a, if you're just working off of just your own like a looks good to me sort of plan is yeah, I don't know how to approach this is the thing. I don't know how I will approach this. Yeah. Because it's just like someone saying that, hey, I'm just going to draw and this is what I come out with, and then that's that. It feels like. Yeah, can you find like use references? You need to use references and guides. At the very least guides, I think. If you're just trying to draw this. Right? Try to go through this idea of being aware of what you want to do. I just want to draw a front view, for example. I want to draw a front view, and then you can go out into the internet, and you can be like anime face front view. And then you have these guides and stuff. You can try and follow the guides. You can try and not follow the guides, right? But once you have a reference here, like even if you just have this one reference and you just look at it and try to draw, at the end of the day, you're gonna end up with something. Like even if I don't use guidelines here, I mean, I guess it's not quite a good. Where's the eyeballs? Low pool, okay, low pool. Even if you just jump right in, at least there's a known target here, so it becomes a lot easier to guide you. I think after this, I'm instinctively putting in guidelines because it's kind of hard without it. Yeah, it's just eat. Yeah, the head's kind of big, I think. And then once you have something like this, right? And then with the reference, then we can then work off of it. Oh, it's like, oh, you know, like how do you get it into proportion? You can be aware of the top and bottom of the head and where the eyes roughly are. So it's somewhere below the middle point here. And then the head, if it's simplified into a circle, something like that. How wide is it? Let's see. 2.2, 0, 1, check. Thereabouts, I think. And pull this down if it misses, and so on and so forth. This is a learning experience for me as well. I'm trying to figure out how to make it make sense at the same time. I think cause for the most part, I'm expecting people to come in with questions directly with regards to a specific part of the image. If you're coming in and specifically saying that, hey, I don't like this part, hey, I don't know how to do this part, then it's easier to be like, oh, you know, this is the reference, or this is some kind of reference that we can find. Right? Even if I just only know the intention and you don't really have a reference before, maybe we can go look for reference together. Then from there, we can try and break it down into the simpler shapes. Oh, it's interesting. This is why I don't think I'm quite suited to do this job, because I have the same issue. A lot of times I don't break things down. I'm capturing the shape as is, and then I'm applying it onto the... I'm just whacking it onto the canvas. Huh. Interesting. Wait a second. What does that mean for me here? The main sequence is locked, right? Then what is it that I've done though? Is the thing again. There is a gap here with respect to the colors and stuff. Anyways, unknown interview. I don't know how much you got out of it. I don't know if you understood what I'm saying. And even if you didn't, it's not your fault either. Because my thoughts are not very clear. Especially tonight. Yeah, no, I'm just thinking that amongst all of the noise and nonsense that I've been spewing out, I think at the very least, there needs to be some actionable items, I think. Because as of right now, if you are... One thing's for sure that I know from personal experience is just that if you don't reference, nothing's gonna change. That's given. So if you want to get good, you kind of have to reference something. In the beginning, it's going to be a lot more copying and just figuring out something like mostly just copying shapes that other people have, I think. Before eventually you get to becoming a little bit more free. Yeah, it's not about being bad on the creative subjects or whatnot. It's just, I don't know. You can think of it that way. I mean, everyone starts off bad, right? So there's no point thinking about it. It's just where you are now and where you want to be. And I think the path there is definitely just using a bunch of reference, doing some studies like we do here. And then... I don't know. Actually, just a quick question on the individual. How long did you take to draw this? Yeah, you need to understand like it's not about whether if you can or cannot draw perfect shape. You're not gonna be able to draw perfect shapes. I can't draw perfect shapes either. It's about sitting there and getting the shape to then look perfect, right? It's not about just coming into the canvas and being like, oh, I want to draw a circle. Oh, that is not a good enough circle. I guess I'm bad. You know, it's not about this part here. If you draw one time is bad, you just do it again. And you do it again, and you do it again and again and again. So if you draw a face and it's not symmetrical here, yeah, if it's not symmetrical here, you're gonna spend 1 hour making the face symmetrical. I mean, like, 1 hour may be a little bit too exaggerated, but you get what I'm saying? Like, you don't just try once, it's bad, means that you can't do it. You're gonna do it until it's good. That's the job of the artist, is that you're gonna make it good. And you're gonna sit there and do it until it's good. That's the only difference, like, between you and I. Like, it's not about me being good, it's just that I have sat here enough times, like long enough to try and make it good, that I am starting to, my hand is already following that sort of curve each time without putting in too much effort. But there were times where I do this, right? But then and then I would just erase this part. I would erase this, I would erase this, and then I'm going to try and fix it. I'm gonna try and fix it. Yeah, I wouldn't worry too much about the time, right? That's why you need to have an idea of what you want, or you find a reference or something, and then you just kind of sit down and try to make it look good. You're just gonna be there until it is good, however long it might take. I know I'm not exactly the right person to be giving this advice right now, considering I was just trying to give out on my on my background illustration there. But at the core of it, it's the same thing though. Because if I give up now, then I will never get good at it. It's the same thing. You're allowed to pick your battles, right? You don't have to do this every day. I don't really know where to bring this to, but like you can at least fix. I can at least try and fix the make this rounder, you know, or make it more symmetrical, if not rounder. Everybody wants that unknown individual. This entire channel, like this entire server, everybody that draws wants that. But the only people who does that, who can get there, is the people who have put in thousands of hours. Like, I've been here for 200 streams. Do you see how much I'm struggling with colors and all these different things? Like, I don't know what to do with the hair. I don't know what to do with all these shapes. I don't like them, right? You might think that it looks good, it looks fine, but it's the same thing as how I'm feeling about this is how you're feeling about your sketch. It just doesn't look good, but I don't know why. And the only way to figure that out is to just try a bunch of stuff, sit down, try a bunch of stuff, find a bunch of references, try and try and try again. And then eventually you're gonna figure out that these are the things that I like, these are the things that I don't like. If I do it this way, it's not gonna work. If I do it this way, it is going to work. You know, if your future self comes in from the future and just tells you exactly what to do, you can get there immediately, right? But that's not gonna happen. So you could find a teacher that just tells you exactly what to do, but like anyways, I think it's the same thing here. Yeah, it's the same thing here. Like, this looks kind of poo-poo farts, and I mean, I have some ideas, I just don't really want to do it. It just takes a lot of time. I mean, I'm the same as you. Everyone's the same. We all want to draw fast and draw good. We all don't really want to put in the effort. This is a lot of work. Guess it is what it is. Oh man, after all that nonsense, I guess I can't exactly give up on this now, can I? That being said, I do need more reference though, if this needs to go on more. I need a good idea of where I'm going. I don't know where I'm going here. Anyways, unknown individual, you should spend more time on the sketches. More time and more references. That's the main advice that I can give, because everything else, like all the, for example, not having form or not having perspective and stuff like that, it's not something that I can just tell you and you will know is the thing. You have to be able to sit down and spend that time and try stuff and feel for yourself. That's my own personal experience. Yeah. I'm sorry I can't put this in a more clearer way. I don't know if I'm making... I might be talking around in circles too, like, because I kind of don't feel very clear in my mind. I would like to blame the drugs, but then it's mostly the medication, but it's mostly just I'm not too sure about it myself, I think. I don't know. If anyone else has any other advice as well, please feel free. Let me see. I need to apply my own advice here too. I need to think about this. So the color evaluation, the colors are fine. I think for the most part the color is set up and put in just fine. It's the rendering. The rendering mostly then comes down to form, texture. And both of those things are better studied in black and white. And in that regard, we basically haven't really done anything other than clouds that we did before. Nothing else has really been explored or studied in detail. So it's not a surprise that I can't do this. I just can't do it. Yeah. An individual, like, more time and have a reference, please. It is the most important thing. Yeah, not having enough the black and white. I think that's, yeah. I think this is within the realm of expectation of what I have here as well. We have the original idea, we collected the reference, and then we did the execution. We're now doing evaluation. Evaluation is saying that color is fine, setup is okay-ish, some issues with perspective, but barely noticeable, mostly fine. And it's just mostly rendering that is killing me right now. So rendering, we have two choices. We can, like before, I can go into the loop and go collect references here, then execute again, and so on and so forth. And that's fine too, if we want to do that. Or if we don't want to do that, that's also fine, because then we already execute part of the idea, which is to use a photograph to set up something, and then to essentially begin the painting process, and do some of the painting as well. So, at the end of the day, is the goal, the target here. So if the goal here was to finish this illustration, so either is targeting the workflow, we can target the colors, we can be doing stuff like composition and ideas, we can do stuff like rendering. So each one of these is a valid target, as long as it's something that you want to work on. And depending on the target, this evaluation can stop early, or it can just keep going. Or rather, it will have to keep going. So it's either or. The problem is I don't have a very clear goal either. We had a clear idea in refs, but we didn't have a clear goal to control the whole thing here. So I think that is the main thing. I mean, I kind of had one, I think. What was the original plan? The plan was just to take photo and put character in it and render. I mean, I got to have known that from the start that rendering wasn't gonna go too well. I'm pretty sure I knew that. I just didn't want to listen to myself. But I mean, the back is pretty fine. I do like the back, at least from a far glance. And I think the reason why it works is just clean shapes. Clean stuff is always nice, whereas the rendering gets really messy easily. Easily gets super messy. Because I don't know what's a good way to deal with all the edges. The soft edges, the blending. Yeah, no, individual guidelines are good as well, but only if you know how the guidelines work though. Because yeah. Guidelines only work if the guidelines themselves make sense. Like these guides here. Everyone's gonna, like, you're probably gonna have to find your own sort of guides as well. Even if you look at someone's tutorial, right? They might tell you to draw a circle. And then to put a line to represent where the eyes would go. They might tell you to draw boxes to put in, to space out the eyes and stuff like that. There are people who do it like this. There are people who do it like this. They want to leave like exactly one box worth of space in the middle. That's fine, right? And then for the rest of the face, you know, like if I give you this guideline here, where are you gonna put the chin? You know what I mean? Like, are you gonna put it here? Are you gonna put it here? Right? Is it valid to put it here? Is it valid to put it here? If both are valid, then what is the decision-making factor that you need to know? Like, why do I want to put here instead of here? So the guidelines themselves are not going to just fix your stuff. You need to know what the guidelines are supposed to represent. The way that I did it is not quite right either. So again, I'm not the best person to be talking about this. The way I did it is I take a ref. I take a ref that, let's say this ref, right? So this is how I did it over the past 5 years. It's just not very good. But if you have a reference here, I don't really use guidelines. What I do is I don't know what's the word in English for this, but I'm basically just looking at it. And then I'm just gonna put things in here. I'm just looking at it. I'm guessing at this distance here. I'm guessing at this distance. And then I'm gonna put in the eyes. And then as long as I'm going along here and I'm just copying the shapes. I'm just literally copying the shapes. Doing this. But over the years, what has happened is that I'm getting really good at sort of sensing if things are wrong. If there's too much spacing here, if there's too much spacing here. Right now it's probably kind of off. But this is how I did mine. And then eventually I started using guidelines, not because I understand like what the guidelines are for, but because I created my own guidelines. My own guidelines are mostly just there for me to feel it. Right, you see me in the earlier streams that I just kind of ignore the circle. I literally put ice in here sometimes, and then I would just ignore the circle and then redraw another set of circle on top. It's because I'm not actually using the circle. For the most part, I'm just kind of doing junk as well. But if you're starting from the beginning, I would suggest like if you're using guidelines, you need to use them consistently, understand what it's for, and it will help you a lot more than and grow a lot faster than I did. My process is pretty junk because yeah, it's the way that makes sense to me. I wanted to see results before learning, you know. My goal was to see good art, to make good art, not necessarily to learn how to draw. And that's why things are a little bit slower. Yeah, I honestly think using guidelines, you should use guidelines. And well, I'm not an individual if you say so, but just you know, people have different ways of working, and sometimes it's not about whether if you know, and especially if you're ignoring it, then what's the point of it, you know? It's just about learning more ways of doing things, if you want it like that. Or if you're okay with what you have, like me, I'm okay with just doing this jankiest method because it works. Then so be it, you know. You have a working process, that's fine. But if you don't like it, right? If you draw something and you don't like it, then that's where you should try and you know, not talk about if you know it or you don't know it, but like just like what else can you do? Like a random dude with like a beanie. I don't know, people always say like, you know, whether if art education makes sense or not. To some extent, it seems like a little bit of a waste of time if you're learning a bunch of stuff that you don't really need. But then I'm also realizing recently that, you know, it's... How do you know if you really need it or not? How do you know if it's actually useless or not? Because I always thought like learning like super tight construction and stuff, like perspective, super tight perspective. I don't know if you guys have seen those, like hardcore... yeah, see you later. All the best, man. There are those exercises where people put like an object in 3D space, and then they have to mirror the object into a separate, like imagine this is a mirror here, right? This plane here, imagine it's a mirror. They will have to plot the lines in order to mirror this object in perspective onto the other side. Yeah, no, sorry. Thank you for listening to my rambling, man. I have no idea what I'm talking about half the time. I'm trying to sort through my thought process as I'm talking to you, so it's probably very jarring. And I'm also learning stuff as I'm talking to you about stuff too, so thank you as well. All the best. I'll see you soon. See you tomorrow, hopefully. Hopefully you're not just gonna unsubscribe and see. Just kidding. All the best. Yeah, I don't know if you guys have seen stuff like this. I actually don't know how to do this correctly. I always thought stuff like this is just overkill, you know, like... And to some extent, I still think this is overkill, because with how powerful Blender is and everything, you don't really need skills like this anymore. For at least, like, hobby stuff. And I feel like maybe some people feel like, this is maybe why art school is useless, because they're teaching you stuff that's maybe slightly obsolete. But at the same time, I feel like if I had gone through that process of having to grind like crazy perspectives day in and day out, it would have made things a lot easier now, because I would just know things intuitively. Just by looking at it, I know whether if it looks right or wrong, because I've already done it so many times. And there's nothing stopping me from doing it now. Well, other than the fact that it's lack of time. That's not quite true, is it? Because if it really helps. But I guess I don't know if it necessarily helps. No, but I'm saying that it does feel like it helps. I don't know. Although we do grind some fundamental stuff too. So what I'm really saying is, I wish I had just learned art the whole time through. I guess is what I'm really saying. Because no one's really saying that these skills are not necessary. Like 100% not necessary. Sometimes, yeah, the argument for not going to art school is that you can learn stuff by yourself. Yeah, but it feels like if there's people to work with, it's a lot easier, you know? Yeah, George, you got it. You hit the nail right on the head, I think. I think what I'm trying to get at is, number one, I wish I had started earlier. And then number two, I think I wish there was a more conducive environment. Something akin to what I have now. Forces you to work, regardless of how boring, like how unglamorous the work itself is. It forces you to go through the fundamentals, regardless of how useless you think it might be, because it is not useless. Yeah, sorry man. Today is a bit of a mess. I'm trying to understand my limitations in a lot of different areas, man. So many different areas. It really takes me being on stream and having to talk out loud to myself for like half an hour to figure this shit out. I feel like the head's not big enough. So I don't know why I'm sketching this now, but sketching is so much more fun now. After 5 years. After 5 fucking years, dude. How long is it gonna take for color, man? But the more I run away from it, the worse, like the longer it's gonna take, so I don't have a choice here. I am so sorry, man. Like, I feel like I'm so inadequate with the with all the advice stuff, because because I've never done it myself. I can only relay stuff that I've seen other people say. Like, my entire process for art is like this entire evaluation criteria here. This part of the process, right? If you learn the fundamentals correctly, then you're passing it through a filter of asking, so is it correct perspective? Like, is it correct sort of anatomy? You know what I mean? Like, there's a list of fundamental sort of questions that you can go through. And for me, for the longest time, this doesn't exist. What I had was a black box. That is, does it look good? And then the way I trained it was just like machine learning, right? I look at a lot of good illustrations, and I ran through this process a lot of times, and every time I failed, every time I go back, I take the reference, I take what I did, I take some of my experience, and I put it into this box. And I don't know what's happening in this box. And because it's an entirely black box, and it's entirely for my own usage, I cannot exactly share this with you guys, even if I wanted to. I can't explain the feelings. So when people come and ask, like, you know, what is necessarily wrong, I have to resort to this. I have to come back to this. That I'm only recently figuring out that there are these questions that I can answer. That is what happens in this past 200 streams, is that I understood that, oh, this is what the fundamentals are. This is what they're supposed to be for, you know. Yeah, like, this is what the fundamentals are, this is what what they're for. Because I can look at this thing and I can objectively say that, hey, are these things in correct perspective? Right? I can objectively say, is the value enough for me to express the sort of vibe that I want? So I think need filter more correct answer what they are asking. Okay, I think you might. Yeah, there's some of the keywords in that question. I think in the sentence might be. I can't exactly autocorrect it because I'm not sure which way it's meant to go. So we need to filter out some correct answers. What they're asking. I mean, SR is close to which keys here? Or like, filter out the question. Oh, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. I mean, yes, part of it is being aware of there's a bunch of questions here, but then there's also part of it which is like, you know, some of these, how do I say this? Like sometimes things are objectively wrong, but rather like, you know, from a fundamental perspective, you might argue that it's wrong. It could be, but at the same time, if that's what you want to go for, then so be it, right? You can have an illustration where the value range is just like 10, right? So from an objective point of view, you can say that, you know, it's really hard to see. But then if that's the idea of the illustration, then that is what you want. And that's fine, right? So yeah, which is why it goes back to like, what is the idea? Which is why I think when unknown individual approached me with this, it's really hard for me to understand like what I should talk about. There's always the fundamentals that you can fall back on. But then if they are just drawing without references and they're just drawing for fun, then who am I to tell them that it's wrong? You know, like it could be objectively off, like the anatomy and the position and everything like that. I mean, this is slightly pedantic because obviously they want to draw good. Obviously they want to draw in perspective, in proportion and stuff like that. So we can always talk about it. But I think that was the sort of feeling that I was missing, that I was feeling, that without the intention, then I can't sort of frame the whole evaluation. Oh, that's an interesting idea here. This is an interesting new idea that I'm coming up with. Or discovering. I wouldn't really want to say coming up with. This is the first time I'm approaching it from this perspective. It's like the age-old thing where people say that, hey, this is my style, it's not bad anatomy, this is my style. And the only way to differentiate between bad anatomy and style is whether if they're actively choosing to do it or not. If they're actively choosing to do it in that way, while knowing that it's bad perspective, then it is their style. But if they're doing it by accident, because they're not aware or because they don't understand the anatomy well enough, then that is objectively a gap, a knowledge gap. And it just goes back again to the idea and the intention. Yeah, this thing feeds into here. There's an early exit condition. And this is intention as well. But then there's also another intention here. It's so hard to come up with like a kind of a model to frame everything, but it is the downfall of me because I like to put things into structure where in real life there may or may not even be a structure. But in any case, it's a lot of talk. I mean, for the most part for this one, I think it was the color that I wanted to work with. And I don't know if I did well with the characters' colors. I definitely think it's too bright for what I wanted to achieve. And oh, I just need to move this up. Hang on. Oops. Yeah. You know, after all that exploration, I think there shouldn't be too much original stuff at the moment. It can be like, it's not like I can't do it. We can try and do it and fail. Actually, we should do it and fail. Sorry, yeah, let me take that back. That's not the problem. The problem is that I need to allow this failure. Because right now I'm feeling bad. I think the face proportion is kind of jank. I think the shading is kind of jank. And that's fine. It's fine to fail. It's fine to screw up. Again, like I told him as well, and what I discovered before was that we're not here to just do it the first try. We're here to do it until it's good. Hello, Valera. The only difference is that we have to take into account of the fact that we are humans, and we're gonna feel things. We're gonna feel bad, and that's gonna affect the work. That's gonna affect this work. It's gonna affect future work. So we don't want to overwhelm ourselves here. So the failing part is overwhelming. I mean, not overwhelming, but it's going to contribute to that. And working more is also going to contribute to that. So we need to strike a balance between trying, between like setting up some expectations and trying, versus like trying too hard or setting too high of an expectation. So what is it that I need to do now? Like, we can continue to find reference and work on this. Which doesn't seem like a bad idea, right? To work through some of this thing, because even if I come up with a new piece, it's the same place I will get stuck. So I think that makes sense. Colors wise, I think we've hit the limit of what I can do. So really from this point on, it's mostly just kind of actually from the moment we started doing painting on the one layer, we are basically already kind of committing to the colors. Let me flesh this out a little bit more. I think I'm also having the same issue where I keep making the same mistakes, I think. In terms of like the workflow, not necessarily just art, but also in terms of the workflow. So you have the intention here. And I think in terms of like either is like study. Oh god. Something specific. I don't know if this is readable here. So either you study something specific or you want to create something. Let's just call it full illustration, as in full as in going all the way here. And then depending on this intention, it guides us in what we're gonna do next. So we start off here. And then in the process itself, it's gonna be some kind of a ref, idea, exploration. From each one of this, we can generate the idea, and then we collect the necessary references. And then there's the iteration here. So let me see. So the next stage of the process, this is the thumbnailing here. I think so this has multiple things, I think. So this is like composition practice, I think. There's definitely composition practice. And composition includes a lot of things here already. There's already stuff like value. There's stuff like details and textures. Essentially different types of contrast, right? We're trying to set up different types of contrast. I guess at the end of the day, composition is just contrast, which makes sense. And then I'm going to go to the next stage here. This is not really a very good way to draw it. Why don't I just draw it like this? What the hell, am I stupid? Okay. Gotta go this way. And then... let me think. So for this, let me check. So the first one was Haru Urara's piece. Haru Urara's piece was an absolute... I have no idea what's happening here at all. I'm just gonna jump in and I'm just gonna do things, right? That was what that was. And we didn't have a very clear idea, but we had an idea. We went to look for reference, and that was basically stuff like all the different moods. And it was the Grove Street View screenshot, right? That was our sort of initial reference plus thumbnailing sort of set, right? And then we went in with the values. We went in with the basic setup, which was very done in a very rough manner, but we went in with values sort of already set up. Because I remember explicitly that boop, 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 come on. Don't crash on me. Thank you. So let me see if we can find it. Is it here? Where is it? As a sketch. No, but we did it in the sketch anyways. Oh, because it's a singular piece on top. I don't want to see this. Got it. Oh, it's over here somewhere. Right, this is what we started with. We started with values, and then we went in and started doing colors and mood, right? So the next step is color rough, essentially it was. So somewhere here, this is not just thumbnailing, but also sketching, I guess. Anything that sort of makes the idea a little bit more concrete and more tangible. Right, that's what this part is. That's why it's comp, because we need to be able to see the idea. So from the rough idea here, it means this is not really represented very well. It would be like this, actually. It's one big box of ideas. Idea to reference collection, to thumbnailing and sketching, to flesh out the idea, to concrete, to make it tangible. Then we go into the color rough stage, where we are actually sort of playing with the mood and color comp, I guess. But I'm trying to separate by the way, what I'm trying to do here is I'm going to make it so that it's very clear what each step is supposed to be, because I have a problem where I get overwhelmed super quickly. And because what happens when you draw is that you're not, well, at least for my case, I wasn't able to sort of see it into these clear steps until literally right now, right? So when you do evaluation, what you're really doing is you're just coming out with one value here. You're just saying that overall equals poo-poo, right? But really, what is this overall? You have like values, you have colors, you have comp, you have perspective, you know, all your fundamentals and other stuff, you have your idea. So like, what are these values? You know what I mean? Like, if I evaluate everything as shit, and I don't know which one of this is the problem, what do I fix? I can't fix it very well. So if I can break it out into this part, then each individual step can have its own sort of evaluation. And then in that evaluation step, I only care about that one thing. So it's like what we're doing right now. Like, we are already in the rendering stage. I don't care about the colors anymore. The colors may be bad, it may be good, but it's not my problem anymore. Right now, the only thing I care about is how am I going to render it, which is the next step here. So this is the rendering. And this is the form. And this is the texturing. Oh, come on, dude. This thing is so annoying. Right? And this can have its own evaluation too. And I don't know what the next steps will be. Because after rendering, it should be done, I think. Oh, you know what it should be? It should be the final evaluation that we always do. At the end, it should be the final evaluation. And then based on this final evaluation, what we can then do is that we'll feed back into each one of these stages here and make changes based on what we think we did good and what we think we did bad. This will be the entire workflow. And I think this makes it super duper clear, because in every single step, you're focusing on only one part of it. It doesn't matter if we are, say, working in a workflow where we are painting, or if we are sketching and drawing line art first and then doing base color, one color per layer, all that nonsense that I used to do. Right? Like, none of that matters. What matters is that we keep the work that we are doing at each stage clear. Right? If we're painting, it means that we're doing what we're doing now, right? We're doing black and white comp, we're doing color setup with the gradient maps, and then we're doing rendering. That's what we're doing right now. If we're doing line art stuff, it would be the same thing, except the rendering stage would need to contain the sort of line art process, because the line art itself is actually, I never really consider it as rendering, but if you put it anywhere in this thing, it would be the rendering stage. So this actually includes line art. if it's a line art heavy thing, because we need all of these things to be sorted out before the line art can go in. And then line art itself is a rendering thing, because how thick are the lines, how clean are the lines, how slender and thick, like all those things is the same as talking about detailing. It's the same as talking about mostly detailing, I think. Texture and detailing, kind of like. So really it is the last step here. And the good thing about splitting it up like this is I think there's a better way to practice in this case. Oh no, actually no, it's the same. It's the same. The way you practice has always been the same, right? You're doing color studies for understanding color. You're doing black and white studies to understand form and textures. You're doing compositional studies where you're just really using really rough values to block out stuff and to plan illustrations. And that's for like your sorry, all of these are thumbnailing. Okay, no, that's fine. The name makes sense though. Yeah, so each one of these circles is a eval plus fix. Yeah, we really do be cracking. I need to talk to people a lot of times. I need to talk to people and allow myself to just talk out loud in order to figure stuff out. I used to be able to do this in my head, but it's not possible anymore. Nowadays, I don't have the attention span to do it. And not sleeping well really doesn't help, does it? And this is eval plus fix, but this is fix process. This is fixing process. This isn't fixing So all of these fixes are talking about the sort of the skill underlying that thing. Or learning new knowledge with respect to that. No, it's the same thing actually. No, never mind. It's the same. I just wanted it to sound different because it's kind of different in the sense that it's trying to fix the process itself. Oh, sorry, it's not fixing the process itself, is it? Hang on, let me think. If it's trying to fix the process itself, then instead of drawing arrows like this, we'll be drawing an entire box over the entire thing. Okay, let me get rid of this. Get out of here. Get out of here. And so if we have an entire box across everything, then there can be evaluation of the process, right? Evaluation of the process. This is the process evaluation and fix, which fixes the entire thing in the box. But this evaluation and fix is the same as all of these guys, where they just, you know, because we're doing each one of these stages in and of itself, we might have missed something, we might not have realized certain things. So we do one more at the end, which we're gonna do mentally anyways. Like, you're not gonna just draw, finish it, and throw it away. Then we just go back again. And then I just need to break things down into process, sure. So otherwise it's I cannot keep it in my head. I need the structure. So over here, this is like comp studies, right? Comp / value studies. Come on. Eat. Right, that is that. This is color studies. Let me put it here. And this one, main point is do not render. Big brushes only. That helps you focus on the color, right? You just want one shape or one brush of like a decent amount of size to, well, you do want to go down a little bit deeper because you still have to get all the minor colors and stuff, but do not render, do not render, do not care about the rendering. And then I'm talking mostly to myself, by the way. Sometimes I feel like I'm a little bit too strong with my words, but that's mostly because I'm talking to myself. I'm telling myself to stop doing it. Because no one else is gonna tell me that. I have to scream at myself sometimes. And then this is our form study, which is the black and white. So focus on form. So actually what we're missing here, I think, is where do the fundamentals, some of the other fundamentals come in? For example, like perspective and anatomy. that would be here, right? Anatomy is here, for sure. Because anatomy is about the individual muscles and stuff. There are some proportions and stuff, but they don't really mess the comp too much. You're talking mostly about where characters are and how much of the canvas they occupy. But whether if they have like 3 arms or 2 arms or like 1.5 arms and stuff like that, it doesn't change their comps too much for the most part. So it's mostly here. And perspective would underline this process here, because without perspective, the idea cannot be fleshed out. Sorry, why did I write comp practice? Oh, sorry. Because my thought wasn't thought out yet. So this isn't about comp practice. This is about comp, just comp. The practicing part is just so that because we can isolate it and practice this part, which is here, over here. And let me think. So this is make idea tangible. And this is also where some of the stuff like perspective comes in here because you need it. So what are the fundamentals again? You have value, you have anatomy, you have perspective. But basic forms of perspective, everything is in there. That's perspective. Texture, colors, color theory is that thing, but color theory I'm going to delay it because there's no point. So the tricky thing is there is another part here, because when you do color, it is kind of part of this, but it is secondary to that. I think value must come first. So even though I say comp here and comp here, this is secondary to values. This is mostly a mood setup, colors, color gamut. Slash palette. I'm just using more words here because the more words I chain together in my head, the clearer the idea is. Okay. Save a copy over here, so real quick. Okay. I don't need this anymore. So let me just run through what we went through, right? So how do Urara? We had idea, we collected ref. Had idea, collected ref. We did some thumbnailing with mostly the screenshot itself directly. We entered color rough with the black and white that we just saw. We did some funny colors, and then we did rendering, where we tried to figure out the hair, figure out the grass, figure out the texture of the dirt, blah blah blah. So that is part of... So what I'm doing right now is I'm trying to evaluate this model. I'm trying to see if it's missing anything. And it requires me to just check through all the stuff that I've done here. And so that's Haru Urara. The bridge one, it started off as an image, right? That gave me an idea. So it started with an idea. We did the ref. The ref, we decided to keep things simple to just use the ref directly. So this ref was brought forward. And that therefore allows us to skip the thumbnailing because the idea was concrete enough to then basically go into the black and white. But in the original process, I actually did a sketch first. But the sketch was in black and white. So in a sense, it was kind of similar. In a sense, it was kind of similar, black and white. Then we went into color, and I think this is the part where I failed. Right. So we were at this stage where we were doing color rough, and I went into rendering later only because I kind of gave up on this. But this stage was already broken because when I was doing the evaluation of the colors, I realized that it wasn't what I expected. And I'm inclined to say that the expectation should have been set correctly here, but that's not true because up till here, we still have compositional elements here. So that means that the expectation so the only time you go through this barrier here is means you have a expectation of what you need to be able to do at the end, like what is going to happen at the end here. And so expectation is formed here. I mean, there's another layer here. Strictly speaking, there's another layer here, I think. This part here might be a little bit more personal, this part, because I'm trying to check this process here. So if I'm forming an expectation based on the black and white, and I come in here and I do a color rough that then destroys the black and white, that makes it very, like, it makes it so that I don't meet the expectation that I have. That makes me feel bad. But I need to be aware that there is a possibility because there are still compositional elements here, and that's fine, right? So I'm trying to kill off that negative emotional feedback here, or understanding what's happening. So now that means when I move on to the next step here, but now here I have to set all expectations. We will have enough stuff here and enough stuff here. Oh, interesting. Wait, hang on. We don't have everything still either. Yes, the composition is fixed, but then there's also other stuff here though, right? Like there's textures and forms and stuff. So I can still miss the expectations if I cannot execute it correctly, which is precisely what's happening right now. So, what does that mean for us? What does that mean for the system here? Every time I move off of a stage, I have an expectation of something, of what comes out at the end. So in terms of the process, we have our idea, and then we're forming expectations around this idea. As we go down this thing of what the final thing will look like, right? Of what this thing here will look like at the very end here. And whether if we can hit the expectations that then affects our mood, right? This might be a separate different system now, actually. This is probably a different system that we don't have to include now. So I'm going to ignore that for now. This part here is the management system here, mostly for myself. I'm trying to figure out what to do when I get overwhelmed. When there's structure, it becomes very easy to control. So I wanted to come up with a structure, but that's for later. So the bridge comes in. We messed up this part because the evaluation wasn't able to bring us to where we want to go. So really what that means is a failure on the reference part here. So that means at each stage here, when things don't work, they're actually going back. Yeah. They're actually going back here. So for ease of reading here, I think I don't think those guys are quite valid for that stage. Reference collection for the most part is just collecting pictures. I don't know if there's much to evaluate about the process of collecting reference. So really all these guys are feeding back here. Man, this is gonna be impossible to read. So when the evaluation fails, we need to collect more reference and then return back to where we were. So that was the part where we failed. That's fine, okay. And then for today's one, it was exactly the same thing. Image to reference to thumbnailing to confirmation of the composition in value to color rough, which was concluded yesterday, and then into the rendering, which is today. Yeah, sorry, I saw your message about the love comment. I just wanted to carry through my thought here. Let's see, so this part here. Oof. Why can't it ever be simple, man? Anyways. What does this mean for us right now, though? So I get to make the choice because I never made the choice before, right? The intention that underlies this entire exercise, was it supposed to be studying something specific? Or was it supposed to be creating a full illustration? I'm pretty sure if I I'm pretty sure I was leaning towards the first. Not just because I don't want to continue this anymore. Yeah, no, it's a mixed bag. It's a mixed bag. Because it wasn't as clear. That means there's a bunch of different emotions and ideas and thoughts that's mixed into the original decision making. And it's hard for me now in retrospect to figure which one is what and to what percentage. I know I wanted to mostly just do a proof of concept of the process. I wanted to know if I take a photo like this and I put a character in, was it going to look good, right? And for the most part, I think I kind of messed it up. Even if we ignore the fact that rendering is not good, I think for the most part the colors are not quite there. I didn't quite get all the colors I want in the correct spot. And why it is that is because I don't have reference, number one, and number two, I don't have an idea of what the math that goes behind, the so-called fundamentals. We know about the lighting from the sky, we know about the lighting from the blue part of the sky and the orange part of the sky, as shown on the buildings. But I couldn't understand why there was so much cyan on the side. And I couldn't understand how dark my character needed to be. And or rather, like, I think I know how dark she needs to be because I can always make it darker until it works. But the problem here is not that, is that if we make her dark, things become hard to read, and I don't know if it's what I wanted anymore. So really the solution here is I would take references of the same vibe that I wanted. Do a study of them. Do a color study of them. Because that's the part that we're struggling with right now, is the colors again. Right, again, ignoring all the rendering. Where is the... oh yeah, here. So we have two here. And then if you want to make things work, I will have to do a color study of these to then understand what the relationship is between the colors on the character in the background as well as the colors on the characters themselves. Then I can move on. Because then I can ground my decision in something that's concrete. That makes sense to me. And then rendering is a whole different other can of worms, but I mean, also we don't strictly have to physically do it. I can always just pick the colors out and see what they are. Oops. Anyways, I don't know if I'm making sense. I hope I'm at least making sense, that my thoughts are coherent enough to be understood. Some of the thoughts just kind of jump around in my head. And then when I speak it, I might miss some of these like in-between thoughts that might make things a little bit hard to follow. Because I got too excited and I was just trying to rush it. Right, the values here are like 12 and 13 and like 10 and 8. Right, the phase is around 18. So we're talking about like really low values. And at the same time, the value range is very minimal. So, and this one is great because it's got red in it as well. We've got red and we've got some kind of dark clothing and the dark hair. So essentially we kind of have the same setup here, but except my values are 15, 12, 14. Clothing is like 21. This red part is 21 and stuff. So just in terms of sheer value difference, it's a lot more already. And then also the values are not quite dark enough themselves, but that is to be debatable because it depends on the background as well. But given that my background is tamer, not as like high contrast as this. Hang on, 48. No, but that's the background problem, is it not? Because I have too much white space here. No, but shouldn't white space make it contrast even more? But the brighter part is actually just not bright enough, I guess. And they have this huge, crazy contrast of like 100 against like 10, 90 against 10. So if I want to get to a closer mood, I will have to make the value ranges within here to make them closer, especially the skin will have to be brought down. But then feasibility and realistic, how realistic would it be? Because they have the light against them, right behind. And then, so it will be like this in a camera because of the dynamic range problem. If it's focused on the back. But that's what I want, right? If I want this mood, that means I'm trying to emulate this setup in terms of lighting. But rather than back facing like the sun itself, I'm back facing just this part here. See, right now, right, like it means that either okay, right now it just means that I didn't okay, this is an experience problem. Because I thought that I can get this sort of mood with that photo here, with this photo here. But the thing is, this sort of mood in the reference here is a result of that sort of lack of dynamic range on the camera problem. Against a very bright light source, everything that is in the dark, if you choose to focus on the bright part, everything that's in the dark will be lost. Yeah, but in this case, because we don't have such a strong light source, we can't exactly justify going that dark. I could still do it. But it doesn't stop me from doing it. It may be unrealistic, but it doesn't really matter. It's about the thing I want to convey. Right, so my expectations were not wrong. I just didn't understand the situation fully. But that's also fine. Because what I'm thinking right now is that either we keep this color right now, this color setup right now. Right, it doesn't have the high contrast, the edges are not as lost on the character than herself. Or I just make the character darker. Or I try to set up the same lighting where I don't just make the character darker, but I also make the background higher in terms of contrast. We can emphasize a specific area to be brighter. Where's my painted layer here? Is it here? Oh, it's here. If I actually make everything just darker here. Yeah, you see, like the mood makes a lot more sense now, I feel like. If the character needs to be dark, most of it feel like it should be... Wait, hang on, I need to prove this first. It's not proven yet. I don't know if this is... if this would make sense here. It doesn't have to be, right? Like, I don't know. I'm just talking to myself at this point. It's more moody. So where is the gap then? It's tricky because where is the feedback going then? Right, I'm evaluating now and I'm realizing that it doesn't quite... So, I had an idea, we went through this process, and right now I'm realizing that it's not quite what I had envisioned before, so there's a gap in this knowledge here. So what can I do, right? I can either accept this new piece for what it is, right? Sometimes you try different things and you come out with, I don't know, a new idea on the way, and that's fine. Here's option one. Then we just keep this color and we can call it done if we don't want to work on the rendering anymore. Or number 2, I can find more references and keep trying to push it towards it. We don't know when we will find the right reference, and we don't know if we can necessarily push it, but again, trying things that fail is part of the process. Yes, that's just the 2 options basically. Because then I can technically take these references and try to make what I have into closer into that reference and see if it is better and more of what I want. So I turn her around. I mean, I don't know what that would change necessarily. Turning her around is more of a story element, kind of like a story is part of the composition, which mostly is being dealt with in the earlier stages here, in the ideas stage. Because the ideas determine like, kind of like somewhere here though, like both of these stages, we're talking about like, what is the story? And the story is what determines whether if the character is flipped front or back. You can always say like, hey, if I don't like the fact that her face has brighter values, we can turn her around and it's just all hair and clothing. But the art should work for the idea, I think. So the idea should come first. If I want her to face here, then there must be a way to make it work. Still. Anyways, one way or another, I kind of have to go for today. There is work tomorrow, so I don't know if I should call in sick or not, but it is what it is. I'll just see you guys tomorrow. I think today is weird. I think the art itself, I mean, if there's one thing I learned that is nice, it's like these horizontal sort of line texture brushes kind of work for these far backgrounds. And once again, I think I'm starting to, not starting to, but I've noticed that I'm preferring these clean shapes over rendered, messier sort of brushstrokes. But I've always known that though. It's just that I haven't quite gotten around to clean up the shapes. Or should I say that I don't really know how to clean up these shapes? Because it's always kind of weird to just have like a patch of like a really clear brushstroke texture on like some of these surfaces. There are styles that have a lot of them and it works for them because it's consistent across the entire canvas. So unless I put in enough everywhere, it's not really gonna work. But yeah, anyways, that's the main thing I learned. The second thing would be this entire process thing. I think for once, I finally sort of had like a very clear structure of where things fit. In a way that's like more intuitive to me, not just like I go online and find someone else's list. So this is, I think, considered a big discovery for me personally. It doesn't really change anything in particular with the way we work, because this is kind of how we were doing it anyways. But now that the structure is a bit clearer, I think it's easier to set expectations, right? Because now I know what to expect out of each individual step here. So in this main path, as we go down this main path, I'm now clearer as to what I should have. Or at least I think I'm clearer anyways. Until we actually use this model, it's going to be a little bit hard to know for sure. But yeah, I think it's an interesting discovery for now. Expectation setting is important. This thing will key it. Intention, huh? The intention. Something doesn't feel complete, so I'm not hopping off. I don't know what this is. But I think tonight I might not be able to come out with it anyways. It's I'm gonna leave it. Okay. I don't know if this is gonna help anyone at all, but I think it is. I feel like it's a big enough sort of discovery in my head that I'm gonna dump this into the stream dumps here. Always nice to sort of keep track of what I learned on which day. I think it's interesting to look back one day. For me, from 1 year later, might just look back at this and be like, eh, he's a fucking idiot. How did he not account for this? My god, it's so stupid. I wish that's the case though. That means we are improving more and more. Sorry, that's... Wait, hang on. Stream dumps? No, okay. And then I'll just call it a day at this point in time. Tomorrow... God damn it, tomorrow. What do I do tomorrow, man? What was this? Oh, this is on the individual stuff. I'm not gonna save it there anyways. It's fine. Anything here? Nope. まあいいか。これが一旦 Yeah, it's just what do we want to do with this? Not sure. We'll see what happens tomorrow, I guess. Sorry, I'm starting to zone out. I got too excited and then a lot of brain activity and then now I'm just crashing afterwards, like a sugar crash. Gonna go get some food and then I'll see you guys tomorrow. But one way or another, we're gonna continue working on color rendering. It's just whether if it's gonna be this piece or whether if it's gonna be a new piece or like it's gonna be a black and white study of hair or like textures and stuff like that, or form. Oh. Man, this can go on forever. Wait, hang on. Anyways, I'll see you guys tomorrow. I might just sit here and brainstorm this for a little bit more. Thank you guys for coming, listening to me rant. Today has been mostly about talking. I think I've been talking for the past 2 hours. An hour and a half at least. Have a good night, guys. See you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye. Thank you.